Hi and welcome back to another video here on my channel. If this is the first time you've seen my face, hi, my name is Vanessa. I'm a content creator by The Greatest Creator and I live in Oslo, Norway. So over to the video. Today we're talking about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which I've been having for roughly, I would say, 8 months. And my very honest review is I absolutely love this camera. Initially, the reason I wanted to buy this camera was because I wanted a camera that would allow for me to be a bit more freely when it comes to creating videos, content outside of my four walls. I wouldn't call myself a shy creator, but I'm not very comfortable. And I feel like this camera has helped me so much in creating videos that looks like this. This. Who is this woman? And it has basically just taken back my love for creating content, because I feel like for so long I fell into this whole aesthetic of TikTok, Instagram, with the days in my life, shooting in a certain way. Whereas for me personally, when it comes to creating, I like the editing part very much. That's kind of where I can let my creativity flow. Having this camera and just carrying it around with me has allowed for me to be even more creative. So I would say if you're a person that would love to film more content outside, but you don't want to bring a big camera, or you don't want to put up a tripod with your phone, just I don't know, if that is kind of problems that you're having when it comes to creating, I would definitely recommend this camera. But I'm also going to break down what I love about this camera and a couple of things I wish was better. So first of all, the quality of the camera is way better than I first expected. I, like many others, did a lot of research on the camera, and I was watching a lot of videos, a lot of creators talking about the camera, and having it for myself and actually shooting with it and seeing the quality of this tiny little camera. But yeah, I love the smoothness of it. Like the gimbal is so smooth. One thing for me when I'm filming, I love to kind of have my camera in motion, and the steadiness of this camera, yeah, it's that good. Also, the spin shot effect that you have, I love to use that. I've used it a couple of times when shooting food content, or out in the city, filming a fountain, going towards it, and then have kind of the shot spinning. There's so many things within this camera that you just have to kind of play around with it and figure out as you go. And also, like I said in the beginning, the size of this camera allows for me to take the camera wherever I go. I know a lot of people who create content, you don't know where you will get an inspiration. So I can be sitting at a bus stop, or I can be walking along the beach, or I can be sitting on a bus or in a conversation, and I will have an idea. Sometimes it will be oh, I wish I had my camera. But now I always have my camera, so that's why I end up with so much footage that makes it easier for me after to create videos, because I don't have the moments where I'm oh, I wish I had my camera. It's just super easy to carry around, and it's super discreet, so it takes up little space, it takes up little attention, and it just allows for you to create on the go. That's why before I loved shooting on my phone, because my phone was always with me, but now the same way my phone is always with me, my camera is always with me. And over to the sound of this camera. The sound is actually also pretty decent, but I usually film with the DJI Mic Mini. Also very little, very discreet. It also comes with a magnet, so you can easily place it wherever on your clothing, or you can use the clip in the back. You don't need a microphone for this camera. I feel like the microphone on this camera is pretty good. And also, it's a lot of people who don't know it, but in your settings, you also have the possibility to turn on, I think it's called wind noise reduction. I mean, it's worth checking out, double checking that it's actually on. You will find it in your setting, and just hit the microphone icon. It will say if it's on or if it's off. I always film in normal color. All my content I edit in CapCut, and then I use the Clear 2 filter. And then I also adjust some brightness, some exposure, some shadow, and then some of the colors individually. But then I also do adjust it pretty far down. I think I set it at around 20, between 20 to 30, depending on how I want it to look. But yeah, that's the filter that I use and that I feel gives the most natural feel to it and makes the color pop a little bit. Pop. Me, I have a lot of auto settings on my camera. Here is the settings that I'm currently using. For exposure, I have it set on auto, but then I also have the exposure set to -0.3. But one thing I also do when I'm shooting, if you swipe from the right to the left when you're shooting, like after you've pressed record, you can always adjust the exposure either up or down. So if I feel that the content is getting like too overexposed or I need to adjust the exposure, I don't go into the settings and do it. I just do it as I'm shooting. I find it to be more handy. My white balance I've set to auto, and whatever you do, don't have the glamour effect on. Turn the glamour effect off. It's a personal opinion, but the glamour effect will glamour your whole screen. So it's not just your face, it's everything in the footage. So I feel like, I don't know, this camera, first of all, this camera is not like a beauty camera to sit down and do your makeup. Of course you can do that, but I feel like this camera is more a vlogging camera than it is like a beauty camera. So having the glamour effect on, I mean, like you can always tweak that while you're editing. I don't like to do that, but if you would want to do that after, but have the glamour effect off. I beg, please. Anyways, like I said, I shoot in normal color. I don't shoot in D-Log. And the focus mode, I have it set to continuous. And for the image, wow, why can I say image? And for the image adjustment, I have it set to, I think the sharpness is at -1 or 2, and the noise reduction is set to 1. The reason why I have the sharpness in negative is because I feel like sometimes the material can look too detailed, you know, it just looks a bit harsh. Don't bring up the sharpness because I just feel like it will look too harsh in the videos. But anyways, everything I'm saying is just my personal opinion, but I have gotten a lot of comments on my TikTok regarding the quality of my content, and I feel like, me personally, I love the quality of the content and how it shows up. So that is just my personal opinion, what I feel has been working for me. Like I've said, I've had the camera now for 8-9 months. I was a bit late to the party, but one thing about me, I'm not gonna jump on a thing and buy and then regret. So I spend a lot of time, what's the name? I spend a lot of time researching before I buy something. So I don't impulse buy unless there's food. Then I do. For everything else, no. Now the DJI Osmo Pocket 4 is out. I have not yet tried the DJI Osmo Pocket 4, but from my opinion, my experience, I would 100% recommend the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. The only negative thing that I have to say is the battery on the camera is not very, very good. I say very, very good because it's good, but if you're the type of person who would want to have a camera that could last you a whole day of vlogging, you would, like a lot of other cameras, you would have to have like extra battery. But I feel like I could have wished that the battery time of, wow, I cannot speak. The only thing I would have wished was different with the camera was that the battery time was a bit longer than it is. But then again, I usually have a charger with me for my phone anyway, so then it's easy to just charge it up if I need to. And then you can always, I don't have the extra battery pack, but I'm going to buy one just to have it in case, because I think it is handy to have. Especially if you're a person that likes to vlog a whole day and don't have the time to charge within the day. And lastly, I download all the material to my phone because I prefer editing on my phone, because I do, majority of the time I do more short form than longer form content, so then I do edit on my phone. And to get the content from the camera to the phone, I use the DJI Mimo app. In this one you can also edit your footage. If you shoot in log, for instance, you can put on a lot in there, I think, or they at least have a lot of filters that you can put onto your content before you download it to your phone. You can also cut the content up if you want to. So it's a lot of things you can do within there. Me personally, I only use it to download the footage and then I edit in CapCut. So yeah, I think that was it. I've also gotten a lot of comments of people asking for editing videos, especially on my TikTok. I feel like I sound like a I was gonna say girl, but I'm a woman. Pick me woman when I'm like,
I've gotten a lot of comments.
but actually I've gotten a lot of comments, and I love that because my passion is editing and shooting and being behind the camera and just being creative. So to see that people also enjoy it is kind of like a shared joy for some reason. So there will be a couple of videos more in depth of how I edit and just how to kind of like spice up your videos with sound effects, animations, keyframes, overlays, and just different things within CapCut that I think is easy for people to miss, but little tweak to make a video a bit more, I don't know, spicy, if you may. That was that for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like. If you have any questions, don't be shy, leave a comment, and make sure to follow along if you want more videos like this or more editing videos. Until next time, take care, stay blessed, and keep creating. And don't forget to post your videos, because it's not going to do anything sitting in your draft. Okay?